Hey people, Shaman Hawk here for Shamanic Lodge. I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a peek behind the shamanic scenes. Actually, I'm one of the very few shamans that'll actually talk to the public through videos and so on. And I don't get paid for anything. YouTube won't let me monetize my channel. They thought about it, laughed about it, and forgot about it. And when I talk to other people at gatherings or Zoom calls and so on, if they're going to introduce me, it's like, oh, this is Hawk. He has faith in humanity. And they're all like, oh, that's so cute. How's that going for you, buddy? you know, and they'll joke about it. Like, yeah, he likes to empower people. hmm Yeah, he gives courses on how they can come into their power and how they can manifest their dreams. And it's really cute. You should see him in action. hmm And they just laugh. I'm like, well, maybe if more of us did this and they got to really look, and see what can be done, and they just kind of give me that look like, oh, poor boy. It's okay. Yeah, you keep doing it. You like it. It's okay. But there's a part of me looks and like I totally understand what they're saying. I do, and they're absolutely right. You know, I, for a lot of it, there's a few of us that think it is a waste of time. And I often ask myself why I do it, why I continue to do it. And, when I came back from Europe last time, back in March 2020, they had asked me what I had done. And I told them the things that I had done. I told them about the people with terminal illnesses that got turned around and were living life. And they're like, yeah. So how did that affect anybody else? I'm like, it didn't. It really didn't. So how did, and then right after that, we watched the last 2 years of people putting on their face diapers, attacking other people because their useless face diaper wasn't on their face. I mean, it, it's a zoo. Sometimes it's just a fucking zoo to watch. You watch the stupid human pet tricks, and they'll still. And yesterday it was the same thing. It was like, so, got any new programs? you got any things you're gonna teach the people? I'm like, no, I'm out of tricks. I don't know what to do anymore. And I wonder sometimes why I really built the boat for the environmental work. Why didn't I just build a comfortable boat to just live in and whatever? And well, part of it's because I like living outside, so it's an outside kind of boat. You know, and I watched the environmental virtue signaling that I'm seeing. Like, there's people out there that have different environmental groups, but they're on boats that have these big outboard engines. And I used to have one of these boats when I had a boat building shop. And one of those engines will burn like 30 gallons an hour and blow the exhaust right into the water and leave a trail. Environmentalism, we're going out and we're doing things, like cool. My boat has sails and oars. It's not going to have any fuel as far as an engine goes. I'll have alcohol in there for cooking for stoves, and that's about it. And when you watch these people that are actually in power, that and politics and shamanism have to go together because the politics create the environment that's either conducive for spiritual growth or inhibits spiritual growth. Or the pressure from political actions can make the spiritual growth grow into a way that's not really beneficial for humanity, but beneficial for the agenda of these people in power. I can get into that on another video. But these people that are talking about how you can track you can track your carbon footprint right down to what you eat and how much you do, all that, and you can really, I'm doing something good for the environment. While these people are flying their private jets to these big meetings and these awesome resorts, and if you're not a billionaire, you can't be there. Okay, and the people just go right along with it. Move, bah. So behind the scenes, there's a lot of us just wondering, like, why don't we just let. And there is that dark side of shamanism. Well, again, the light and the dark is all perception, but it's it's kind of like picture the whoever that guy, Darth Vader, come over to the dark side, And if you want to go that route, oh, you got endless money, resources, travel. You don't pay attention to any restrictions, and they gotta give you a politician to work with and whatnot, and you can do that as a job. You're owned. You're somebody's bitch. Shamanicbitch.com, right? But you got the resources or whatever to do whatever you want. You can have a great time. As you help plummet the world and bring it into the dark ages. And when this happens this time, you know, it'll stay that way for a while. I've watched too, trying to talk to men, just like be a man, be this, because the one thing that these people in power that they don't want strong men, because revolutions and things like that, are usually populated by strong men with a strong will and an agenda to make things right in their mind and so on. So that the big effort in the political world is to demasculate or take away manhood. I'm not thinking in English. This is the first time I thought in English today was making this video. So, so behind the scenes, it's more and more people are getting away from the people to what we would call the green shaman, the organic shamanism, grassroots shamanism, of doing the right thing to finally just like, yeah, fuck it. People want to be sheep. And I'll be one of the last ones to turn if I ever turn. I doubt it, but I look at it and I understand why they're doing it. I totally do. It's just, I don't approve of it. I don't like it, but I understand it. And for the people who will hear this and watch this, they'll go like, "Oh no, you have to keep doing your work." Okay, but why? That one person doing so. See, we can have the great idea, we can have the great vision, we can have a plan, but if people want to jump on and be with it, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter what it is. One person can do so much. See, I used to do these community gardens for places, and in Detroit, I dug up 6 house lots by myself, weeded, rocked, did everything, because people just wanted to have meetings and talk about it, but time was passing. There's only so much of a growing time window. But I could only do so much because there's just X amount of time in a day, and there's only X amount of time in this body and energy. And then people just like, "Oh, you took over." No, that can be your lot, that can be your lot, that can be your lot. I have my backyard. This is for the community. But nothing got done. You see, so it takes action. So we, in the shamanic fields, can help people do things. But until the people step forward and do something, nothing works. It just keeps going down the same road. As we see the monkeypox scamdemic coming. Yeah, and why would these people in power do anything but push another scamdemic? And then they're saying on the World Economic Forum, yeah, there's not much trust in the media because you're all a bunch of liars. That's why. But we have to do something to gain the trust. Oh, like censor everybody that tells the truth, and that way yours is the only available narrative. Okay. So when we in the shamanic field try to teach psychic development, how to really hone in your intuition, and so you can look at that TV or phone or whatever and know the truth. You'll just know. And you won't have to ask for confirmation from another source. But no, people don't want to do that. They'd rather go, like Orshis in the forest. They had this group of people. They used to have Goa. Go to where we used to camp in Romania. But then there's this other thing where they do cacao and then they do the trance dance, and it's just more virtue signaling, spiritual virtue signaling. Loud music in the forest, totally disruptive in any natural way. But then be doing your thing and like, "I'm doing my work." No, you're not doing shit. Thank you for picking up what trash you did, but So behind the scenes, there's more and more people just getting away from this. And people are like, well, where do you go find the real shamans? Well, they were around, you know. And that's what happened when I left Detroit. It was a weird thing how I even got there. I was working on a project in Maryland, and I felt this pull, you know. And when you're into the flow, the shamanic flow, you get pulled to where you need to be. And so in Detroit, I knew somebody there that I connected with, you know, and she was talking about the community gardens and making it sound like it was a cool thing that was happening there. And oh, and you could buy a house for like $2,000. So, anyways, the shaman that was up there died, and the people got together for this ceremony and wanted a new shaman. And boom, I just got pulled up there. The way things happened is so cool. And they're like, "Oh, cool, you're here," and then just kind of like wandered off and did their shit because they just want you to be there when they want to go and knock on your door, so you stop everything you're doing and cater to their problem for free. And I was there 1 year to the week, and then got the chance to leave. And they're like, "You're leaving?" Like, yeah. But then the gardens that I did, all this stuff is just turned into shit. And the agreements that I made with people were broken, and it was just a waste of effort the whole year. So, and then you look at that, and that's enough to turn a lot of people away. It's like, okay, I just gave a year of my life to this alleged community effort, and then what happened? Nothing. And that's a year I know two people, a woman and a man, separating. Like, sorry, I'm gonna go get a real shamanic job, and now they're working in the political field, making big money and doing what they want, and they don't have to worry about cleaning up the environment because they just go to where places are already clean, And you start looking at this, and I look at my grandkids, I look at what they'll have, in the environmental world and so on, and the spiritual world, and I watch life, the potential for quality of life goes down, meaning that, when I was a younger man, I mean, to me, in my perception, it was unlimited potential about where you could go in life. But then when I listened to people that were my grandparents' ages, it was like, no, I was wrong. See, I got conditioned to where that borders were, my perceptions were. So my grandparents' age, the potential was bigger, and they did more things. My parents' generation did more things. My generation did a lot. But after that, no, things got more tightly controlled. What great inventions have you seen in the last generation? We're just kind of making old inventions a little bit better, but nothing big was really invented. So people, my shamanic forecast for the future isn't looking too good. And it's because the people who aren't doing anything, the people doing all this spiritual virtue signaling, aren't doing anything. You're not making your move. You're doing these things where you want to go to these ceremonies, do some drugs and shit, and dance around, beat on a drum, and think that you're going to get enlightened or whatever. It doesn't work that way. You have to go in here and clean out the trash first. You have to face yourself in that holographic mirror, see yourself from so many different angles, and clean it up. There's no quick fix. There's no quick cure. There's no quick process. You got to get in there and do it yourself, and then you'll get your own visions, follow your own path. In the last couple weeks, actually in this month, I've given 6 people, exercises to do that will guarantee psychic development, honed in intuition, empathic abilities. One person did one of the exercises within a couple days. Haven't heard from her in a couple weeks. No one else did anything. Oh, I don't know, it's fear, blah, blah, whatever, And their life will continue the same way that it's been doing for a while. And they'll have the same problem. They'll wake up with the same attitude. And that's just 6 this month. I've been doing this actively 40 years. Every day, living shaman every day for the last 40 years. A few people who have taken the exercise and actually done things with them, yeah, they've done well. They got businesses, they got good lives and things like that. long-term focus, consistency and discipline. But they have the keys, the honed-in skills that give them the advantage for a better potential of success. The same thing I gave these people this last month. No, but they used them. These people used them. The last 6 did not. So there's a huge difference of what their lives are going to be, and farther. If they both started at this point, one person just went this way a couple notches, the other person's just going to keep on going. But that's how our society could be. Our society could just make that one jump and then leapfrog. And I use that 100 monkey phenomenon to where if enough people are doing these exercises and doing things, all of a sudden that flash. Now people don't have to do the exercises for development. They have it. Then they'll come up with other things to do. And then it just keeps on going from there. But the people in power know this just as much as I do. And they're going to keep you fed the bullshit narratives. And you'll just keep eating them. Face to the ground, just like the sheep. Chomp, 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 chomp. And they'll just throw some more stuff down there for you to eat. And you'll chomp it away. It's amazing. It's kind of a bad outlook, but I'm happy I was born when I was. I had a good life. Don't want to come back to this planet anytime soon. When I say soon, I mean within at least the next couple thousand years. Not until we start to settle other planets. But then again, it's an endless space. Maybe I'll just pop in someplace else. People, this is your last chance. This year. This fall. You're going to make it or break it. And the people that are pulling the strings, the big puppeteers for the politicians, because they're just puppets, they got 95% of their plan enacted. And once they finish up on the censorship issues and everything else, yep, you're done. Now you can just go ahead and, oh, well, we didn't act fast enough, and then just eat that. Okay, that works. Or you can actually do something. And never underestimate the simple power of desire. Because if enough people really want to do something and have their actions prove it, things will change. And it can still change at this point. But if it doesn't change now, it won't for a long, long time. It'll just keep going downhill. So on that happy note, I'm going to get back to building my boat. Catch you guys later.